Hi guys, how are you? Today is the wonderful world of Asian cooking with Chef Wu Can. Hi, I'm Chef Wu Can. Today, I want to point out a couple of basic sources that every restaurant uses and every household pretty much uses in Asian cooking. It's nothing complicated, it's not difficult, there's no secret, okay? So if you're interested in tapping into Asian cooking, I want to show you the basic sources that you'll need, okay? One of the first sources that is very, very popular is called oyster sauce. Now, as you can see, I use a lot of it, so that's why I have a huge container. But this is called Lee Gum Gay is the name, Panda brand. And the story behind oyster sauce was Mr. Lee of Lee Gum Gay. He was just experimenting with all different types of ingredients, and one of them happens to be oyster extract. And he combined it with some sugar and some salt, and he made it a little thick. He tasted it, and he felt, yeah, it was a neutral flavor. It was pretty good. It was sweet and salty, and it had a little oyster extract in it, and it just overall was wonderful. So he decided to manufacture it. And as he was manufacturing it, he sold it to various countries in the Far East. And the ultimate response was he was getting tons of orders to reorder. So he hit a gold mine. He loved it. So predominantly, it's a base sauce that they use for everything Asian cooking, even traditional meals. For you, beef with broccoli, pepper steak, chicken with broccoli, shrimp with garlic sauce, broccoli with garlic sauce, all those basic meals use a base of oyster sauce. Now, as far as chicken lettuce wrap, it's just as good, and they also use that too. So it's very popular. It's so popular that I feel that it's considered the ketchup of the Far East. All right. The second sauce I have here is called Hoisin Source, also manufactured by Lee Gum Gay. Hoisin Source is an alternative to sugar. It's a sweet base sauce, and in conjunction with oyster sauce, it's a perfect flavor combination. So lettuce wrap, chicken lettuce wrap, goes well with oyster sauce and Hoisin Sauce. Now, remember that we don't want to overwhelm our dishes with all sauces. These sauces will bring out the flavor of the ingredients you use. So you don't need as much as you may think. Oyster sauce has a lot of sodium. So if you have high blood pressure, you might be a little bit more hesitant to use it. But kikkoman is just as salty. So in moderation, everything's okay. So Hoisin sauce is used also in Vietnamese food. So the famous pho, basically the beef noodle soup. They use pho. They use the hoisin sauce in the pho soup along with sriracha. So you have a sweet and spicy mixture of beef broth. So that's the oyster sauce and the hoisin sauce go well. I want to show you a dark soy sauce. Now these three sauces, oyster, hoisin, and the dark soy sauce, are all made by Lee Gum Gay. And the reason why I choose them is because I feel that Lee Gum Gay makes a quality sauce. Right? They don't skip on the ingredients. You may go into your favorite store in the Asian aisle, and you may see plenty of sauces, oyster sauce, hoisin sauce, and dark soy sauce. But one time I went, and it was an emergency that I needed oyster sauce, and I grabbed a bottle of oyster sauce, but I wanted to look at the label, and all it said was coloring and salt and thickener. And I said, well, where's the oyster extract? But I feel that maybe a lot of food manufacturers are hesitant to list oyster extract because it may just prevent the consumer from buying it. But, you know, when it comes to food, it comes to sauces, we always want the real thing. So if they say oyster sauce, it should have oyster extract in it. Okay? This dark soy sauce, although it says premium dark soy sauce, it's really more for color. It'll have the essential ingredients of soy sauce, but not to the degree that it's going to make a difference in flavor. It's really used for coloring. So if you notice that if you ever cook beef, it's sort of like a grayish color, or chicken, you know. And so with Asian cooking, appearance and presentation is very important. So by adding dark soy sauce, and pretty much every dish has dark soy sauce in it, it brings out that brownish, beautiful color, right? It's more appetizing. So they may add a dash of that to give it a little bit more color, and it may make you feel more comfortable eating it, right? So that's what the dark soy sauce is for. I don't want you to make the mistake by keep on adding oyster sauce, you're going to get a darker flavor. Like many people felt that fried rice, by adding more soy sauce, you're going to get a darker color, but it just gets more saltier. They usually add the dark soy sauce to give it a little bit more color, not the oyster sauce. All right. So those three so far are from Lee Gum Gay, and I highly recommend them. And you'll always know that you're getting good quality. And they obviously, his line of products cover the spectrum from everything. The other sauce I have here is Shaoxing Wine. Obviously, we use it a lot. Shaoxing Wine is like using regular white wine or red wine in your cooking, Western style meals. So it has just as much the flavor of sweetness that you want, yet it may dilute the initial ingredients like oyster sauce that may be a little bit too potent. It refines it, it slims it down a little bit, but it's very delicious. Fish sauce. I like this brand. Basically, a fish sauce is fermented fish. They have a huge container. They throw a fish in it. They let it ferment. After it ferments, the sauce that comes out is the fish sauce. It's predominantly used in Southeast Asian cooking, in Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines. It's sort of like soy sauce from a salty standpoint, but add a little more pungent to it. So if you're making curry, they always add a little fish sauce to give it that saltiness to the curry. All right. So it's very good. You have to acquire a taste for it. All right. Initially, you'll be taken by the aroma. It's a little bit fermented, and but it's very good once you get used to it, like anything else. Right. Now, in terms of sesame oil, Kadoya. We've used Kadoya sesame oil for years. This is the original sesame oil. If you like sesame, you can rest assured you'll love the Kadoya sesame oil. It's very rich, nutty flavor, right? It's very smooth. And how it's used is at the end of the dish, at the end of making the dish. It's the last ingredient that you put into your dish, because the sesame oil has a high flash point. So if you put it in the beginning, by the time the end comes around, you may not get as much flavor and potency than towards the end. And you'll enjoy it much better. It's delicious. It's their brand. It's not being relabeled with some other company's name. They make it. They live by it. It's highly reputable. And we haven't changed. The other ingredient is white pepper. Now you may say, what's the difference between white pepper and black pepper? Believe it or not, black pepper may not be as strong as white pepper. White pepper is a little bit more aromatic and has a nice kick to it. But you don't have to use that much. In most restaurants, they use white pepper. Okay, just a little bit goes a long way. Whether you put it in soups, in your casseroles, your stir fries, it does add a little punch to the dish. Ginger. This is a small piece of ginger. Okay, ginger changes the whole flavor combination. It's very, very delicious. It's healthy for you. So if you have stomach problems, diarrhea, anything like that, upset stomachs, and a lot of stress, ginger will calm you down. Whether you put it in tea, whether you add it to soda, which, you know, ginger ale does add real ginger, it has an overall miraculous effect in your body. And you can always check Google on that. We use it daily in soup, and it just adds a little bit more flavor to your soup that we use. All right. Garlic. This is a skinned clove of garlic. I don't really have to say much about that, but we use it every day in cooking. What's the difference between that and fresh? Chef Wu likes to use fresh. If you don't have fresh, then garlic powder is just as good. But if you can get fresh, I would get fresh. I got fresh. So we have a packet that goes in there that preserves it for a long time. So if you use it every day and try to use it every day, it's good for your body. It has nutritional value, medicinal value. It's just good for you. Okay, so if you get a chance, you know, stay away from the powders. If you have available the fresh, it's good. All right. So that's all I have in terms of the sauces. I know I made a previous YouTube on sauces. That was one of my first ones, so I might have been a little nervous. But after doing a couple more, I feel more comfortable and I wanted to redo it again. So if you have any questions, put in the comments. But I'm asking you also to subscribe and to like me, because it all helps in the rating system. And I look forward to that part. So I want you to have a nice holiday. Go to my website if you're kind of bored with everything else besides movies and you want to read about my restaurant critic and food blogger. And I have virtual demonstration classes available at www.chefwucan.com. All right. So thank you. Have a safe holiday. And I look forward to seeing you in the next couple of videos, which will be really interesting. I'm laying out the foundation in terms of all these ingredients that you see and how you could use them in the actual cooking. All right. So thank you very much. And Chef Wu can, you can too. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.